What up, y'all? It's your boy, right back at you again with another short. This one is about my ninth grade year at Milford, and not so much about um, the school year itself, but the building that we were in. I did a video a few videos ago about how our ninth grade year, um, for my class, I was class of 95. Our ninth grade year was the last year of the renovation of Milford on Washington Avenue. So our ninth grade year, we had school at Sudbrook Middle School. And that building, I like that building much better than the Washington Avenue building. Like Sudbrook Middle had like I guess a character to it. I don't know. I mean, because Washington Avenue, Milford right now is just a plain building. It's like just like a big V. It's just Milford basically is just two long hallways upstairs and downstairs. There's like no form to it's just a plain building. You know, Sudbrook had some character to it, some differences about that building as opposed to the actual Milford building. One of the things about Sudbrook Middle was the cafeteria was in the basement. It wasn't like Milford now. In the Milford building, the cafeteria is up of course, on the first floor. Milford only has 2 floors, but Sudbrook Middle had multiple floors. And the cafeteria was in the basement. And it was like basically one way in and one way out. I mean, there were doors that led to outside that we never used. They were like emergency doors that would let you out like on the side of the building, but we never used those doors. We always came down the staircase. There was one staircase that led down into the basement where the cafeteria was at. And I remember one time, it was a couple fights my freshman year in that cafeteria. And I remember one fight. I can't remember who it was that was fighting. It was girls fighting. I know that. And I remember like the fight broke out and like to a point where everybody started running out the cafeteria. And one of the girls, like, I guess had a wig or something on, or had like extensions on her hair, some kind of way, if whatever it was, it came off. And it was on the floor, and as people was running around, they kicking it around, and people were trying to say that it was a rat on the floor. So it's like people kept on kicking it like it was a rat, but it was like a hairpiece or a wig. I can't remember. I don't remember who was fighting, but I just remember everybody running up out of there, kicking that wig or that hairpiece around, talking about it was a rat. But I like that. The cafeteria was in the basement. Also, the gym was actually up on the second floor. It wasn't on the first floor like it is at Milford now. It was up on the second floor. And it was a couple ways to get to the gym. I know if you went into the boys' locker room, like the door from the hallway that went into the boys' locker room, as soon as you went in that door, it was a staircase from the left-hand side. That staircase went upstairs and went straight to the gym. But if you didn't go up the staircase and went to the right, it walked you back into where you would go across where the teacher's office was, and then it would take you back into the locker room. And that locker room was crazy. Like Milford on Washington Avenue just has a regular locker room. That particular locker room at Sudbrook was a little different. They had like these big lockers. I think the football team used them. That was like on the right-hand side, was big enough that you could like fit people in there. And I remember in my gym class I had that year, it was a mixed class. It was all 4 grades in that gym class. And they used to, I remember some of the upperclassmen would pick on or a couple of the freshmen. I've seen freshmen get put in those lockers and left in there for the whole gym period. Put them in there and locked them in them lockers. They were big lockers that I think the football team used to use. You would see like shoulder pads and stuff in there. But that locker room was crazy because it was the way it was shaped. With the on the left side was the regular lockers, on the right side was those big football lockers, and the shower was over there. And then you went into the back. It was like the bathroom, and then I'm going through my head right now. You would go down into the locker room, make a left, then it was like the bathroom on the left-hand side or something like that. And then if you kept straight on back, it was a door. You had to go up a set of stairs. Then there was a door that went out back to where the basketball courts and stuff like that, and out the football field and stuff like that. The staircase led to that doorway, but it was like a 2-layer staircase. You would go up the stairs, get to one platform, there's a door, but then if you kept on going up another set of steps, that set of steps took you up to the gym. It was like 2 different ways to get into the gym. Either that first set of steps when you first come into the locker room, or it was another set of stairs all the way in the back of the locker room that took you up into the gym. That's what we used to use to go up into the gym from the locker room. But that locker room, man, we saw all kind of, fights in that locker room. I saw some of y'all that was there might remember, I ain't gonna say no names, but I saw a dude get beat up in the locker room. They took all his clothes off and threw him in the shower, turned the shower on, had his clothes drenched in the shower, and he had to go the rest of the day with his gym uniform on. He got beat up and he had to wear his gym uniform the rest of the day. I've seen people get knives pulled on them in that locker room. A lot of things, like I said, a lot of fights and stuff was going on because that locker room, the teachers, once again, very rarely would come in the locker room where the students were. They would stay outside the locker room in their office. They would seldomly come in the locker room. And so stuff would just happen back there, and that locker room was so deep in that building, like the teacher probably couldn't even hear the stuff going on. Like you could be in there fighting, the teacher don't even know. You know, so a lot of fights were just broke up by students. It wasn't like the teacher would break them up. But and also that gym, like when you went up to the gym was on the 2nd floor. But on the other side of the gym, which was on the side where the girls' locker room was at, it was another staircase that went up another floor. And we used to go up there. It was like, I guess, an activity room or something. Only time we went up there is when we would have like wrestling with the unit. And so we would go up there and do our wrestling up there. And oh my God, people was up there getting WWE'd up there. He was taking it too far. Our gym class was wild and our teacher was weak. You know, people probably don't even remember Mr. Michaels. I think that was his last year at Milford. And he was a weakling, man. We had a rough class with a weak teacher. So stuff was going on. I remember people would wrestle him. I've seen people grab our gym teacher and want to wrestle him and then wrestle him to the ground and just rough him up. I mean, it was like he got no respect. And he would always play it off. I know it got on his nerves. But it was almost like our gym teacher would get bullied. he ain't come back that next year. And they would be up there wrestling me. People were getting slammed on that mat, man. It was crazy. And then we had people who were actually on the Milford wrestling team in that gym class. So you had some strong dudes in that class, man. They was doing all kind of stuff in there, man. And we were freshmen, you know what I'm saying? So we, hey. Yeah, I saw some weird stuff in that class, man. But I always have a lot of memories about that Pacific gym because of how it was made with like the activity room up on this like third level. The only thing up there was that activity room. Then the gym was on the second floor. Then the locker room was on the first floor. I'm trying to think of anything. I know with the band room, I was in the band. And in that school, the band room was like right behind the auditorium. So if we had a performance in the auditorium, we could come out of our class and just go right across the hall. And there's a door right across the hall. And it was like the back door of the auditorium. So we could go in that door and they go up like a set of stairs behind stage and come up and perform, from backstage without having to actually come through the front of the auditorium. Milford now, it wasn't like that. The band room, when we were there, was down across from the cafeteria. So we would have to walk through the hallway to get to the auditorium and go in the same door everybody else go in, or go outside, go out the side door and then go outside and then go through the back door of the auditorium from out in front of the school. We had to go outside to get to the back door. Whereas though at Sudbrook, you didn't have to do that. The back of the auditorium was right across the hall from the band room. So that was cool. Plus they had a lot of cool stuff backstage because I think they did like theater or something at Sudbrook Middle. They had a lot of props back there. I'm not sure exactly what was going on, but there was a lot of props behind behind the stage in the auditorium. But I always liked that building. We had the candy machine right in the hallway that we used to steal from every day. It was like a science, man. We had like a hanger, like an unhooked hanger, like behind the candy machine that everybody knew how to get it and just reach up to the candy machine and steal stuff. I used to steal like a pack of cookies like every day. Like every time I had gym, when you come out the locker room, into the hallway, the candy machine was right across from the boys' locker room in the hallway. Either that or music, because the music room was right around the corner from the locker room. So whether I was going to band or going to gym, at least once a day, I'm gonna go in that thing and steal a pack of cookies out that candy machine, like every day. But it was just fun. I think everybody that went to Sudbrook, when Milford was there, I think everybody who was there prefers that building. I never liked our actual building. I always thought our building was just too plain. Maybe if we had never gone to Sudbrook and went to school there, I wouldn't have known the difference. But Milford on Washington Avenue was just too plain for me. It's just too long hallways. There's no character to it. Like now they done renovated it. I know the gym is different. I've been in that new gym. That gym is nice. Nothing like the jungle, as we used to call it, the old gym. They got a nice little arena set up in that gym now. The music wing, they basically put a new music wing where the old gym used to be at. Is now the music wing, and it's really nice back up in there, like right across from the auditorium. That's nice, but that came after we left. So we had the old stuff. So, but I always liked that Sudbrook building. I always preferred that building. Like I said, everybody I know that went to Sudbrook while Milford was up there preferred Sudbrook. It was a whole different feel, a whole different vibe up there as opposed to Washington Avenue. Washington Avenue is just too plain. And it's only 2 floors. But at least we got a balcony at the gym. The gym got a balcony, but I don't even know if they got a balcony anymore. That was the old gym. That was the jungle. I don't think there is a balcony in the new gym. The new gym is just like stadium seating in there now. Or, or arena seating, whatever. But yeah, that's right. It may not be upstairs and there's no more balcony in the gym. I don't think. I only been in there one time. Oh, well. But that's it. That was just a little quick shorty about when Milford was at Sudbrook Middle. A lot of y'all don't know nothing about that. That rental, we were the last class to be there when class 95, when we were freshmen. So all y'all newbies, y'all don't even, class 96 don't even know nothing about that. So that's it. I'll let y'all in the next one.